Finished talking about the range of motion and muscle testing. Now we're going to go for the special tests. So everything I think in the special test is all critical, so we'll go over those things. So we'll ask HM2 to go ahead and stay supine. Go ahead. Good. Next is going to be the patella apprehension sign. Okay. So what you want to do right here is you want to drive the patella laterally. Okay. So just relax, relax. Good. So you want to make sure that the patient's relaxed. If the patient is supporting his or her muscles, you can't get an accurate response. So what you want to do is you just want to drive the patella laterally. And then if the patient starts to complain, yeah, it hurts, okay, that's indicative for chondromalacia patella. That's a bonus. You may like to impress your instructors for that. So take it out, okay. If it hurts, that's chondromalacia patella, okay. Medially, not much, but if both actually hurt, anything that you do for apprehension, that means if you go up, down, lateral, or medial is apprehension. But for this, for instructional purposes, they want to keep using the lateral part for your apprehension. And that's indicative for your chondromalacia patella. Okay, here's the cheesy part for the next one, McMurray's test, okay? So I'm going to stay here again because I want to make sure that you could see it on video. Okay, McMurray's test is actually done by trying to squeeze or trying to put pressure on your medial and lateral meniscus. Okay, so go ahead and relax. This is done, if you know your valgus and varus technique, it's almost the same thing as doing that. But this time you have to focus on using pressure on the distal part of your foot by either doing what you call your external and internal on this section, not here. Now, what you want to do right now is you want to bring this and impinge this section by doing what you call a mild valgus, and then constantly do this. Okay. Now, next you could turn your foot in, so you could actually transfer the pressure at the medial side. So it's like you're doing a varus right here, but you're also focusing on not bringing this all the way out, but trying to squeeze that meniscus by doing a varus. Okay. Valgus and varus type of pressure. Okay, so what you want to do now is combine everything into a circular pattern. Okay, so now you're trying to make sure that you're getting every aspect of the meniscus. If I'm doing this, if I'm pressing down this way, I'm putting pressure at the medial side. If I do this and extend back and forth, I'm doing pressure at the lateral side of the meniscus. Okay, so that's testing for your lateral medial meniscus. And what's the positive sign would be actually a catch. Once you're doing this, and all of a sudden it just catches and it snaps this way, and patient complains of pain, that's positive for that. Okay, good. So that's your McMurray's. Next is your valgus and varus stress. So again, like I said, I used the terms earlier, so now you could easily use it using the long lever of the leg. All you have to do is just apply. This is a varus test again. So valgus is a letter L that heads outside, so you could, if I'm standing right here, just go ahead and pull it that way. Okay. When you're doing a valgus stress, you're actually observing for the medial collateral ligament of the knee. If there's gapping, you could easily see the divot, just like your sulcus sign in your shoulder. Okay. And then next is going to be your varus stress. Okay. So you want to take it this way. You'd see gapping. Okay. So those are indicative for medial and lateral collateral ligaments of the knee, for your valgus and varus stress. Okay, patient may exhibit pain, but most likely than not, it's just going to be gapping. Okay, so Lachman's test. This I have to stay here, anyways. Hopefully you could actually see using the camera. So I'm using this, using the knee because you want to set up the patient into a 30-degree flexion, approximately. Okay, but let's see, that's more than that. So there we go. That's good. You're doing this because you want to terminate the use of the hamstrings. Okay. There's a thing called anterior drawers test where we actually hold it this way, okay, sit on the foot, and normally pull this. This is anterior, so you're taking it forward towards you. It's anterior. They took this thing out in the world of physical therapy, and they didn't really take it out, but they kind of like trusted more of Lachman's because this actually takes up the use of any other supporting structures and then focus only on the ACL. Okay, so this is how I do it. Chief Strickland taught you guys differently. So what you want to do is you want to use and you want to support this. I normally put my fingers on the medial and lateral joint lines because I want to feel that this section should move forward. Okay. Now, if you notice, I'm actually using what you call a fulcrum or a leverage. I'm using my forearm to plant the leg down. Okay. and then I'm going to go ahead and initiate an anterior pull. Okay, hip is really good and intact, so I'm not worried about that. What I'll be worried, we should start to be worried if you actually see this section, the tibial plateau, which separates this from your femur, move forward. So if I actually magnify and if it goes this number, okay, that's positive for an ACL rupture, and that's for your Lachman sign. Okay, next is positive. It's positive for an anterior cruciate ligament tear. Next is going to be a posterior drawer. So with this, now you can sit on the patient's foot if you need to. Okay, and then posterior drawer, since you did an anterior earlier, now it's just posterior. So just actually just gently push it forward. Okay, this is now posterior, but you're pushing it forward. A positive sign would be tear on the PCL or posterior cruciate ligament, and at the same time, if I magnify this, this is actually going that way. So you would actually see a gap. Okay, and that's a tear for your PCL. Speaking of PCLs, we could also shift towards your sag sign. So go ahead and relax. Good. So a sag sign would be the moment you actually hold the patient in this position, this leg would drop down. So from this view, it will drop down. The tibia would actually drop down. Now, you want to ask the patient to extend his or her leg upward, but at the same time, you're trying to resist it. The moment you do that, this quad would pull the tibia up. So therefore, let's say if I'm going to simulate a positive PCL, so Garrett, relax. So that's how it looks. Now go ahead and kick the sky. It lines up, supposedly. That's a positive PCL, tear for PCL. Otherwise, the moment you look at this and there's no sagging sign right here, it should be perfect. Okay, good. So, sag test, Ober's test. Okay, so Ober's test, let's do it this way. You want to come towards that side, stand that way. This is where you actually stand behind the patient. So go ahead and roll to the right side. Good. Okay. Let the patient come as close as you can towards. Go ahead and touch my hip all the way. Good. All right. Perfect. You can bend and move. Good. So Ober's test. This is how a lucky way of memorizing this is think of exaggerating the word over. Okay. So you want to go. So Ober. Okay. So. One more thing, is actually sustain this section of the pelvis. Okay, hold the pelvis, okay, and then carry through. So, reverse, and then come back down. Go ahead and bend this. Okay. If, assuming we had more space, this wouldn't be a problem. So, you come from here, up, extend as far as you can. If it hurts from the patient, as always, make sure that you're looking at the patient too, so, and then drop down. If the patient cannot drop down, this is indicative for your tight IT band. You would also notice that the patient would have pain at the lateral part of his or her thigh. Okay, and that's Ober's test. So you start off from here, sustain this, come up, Ober's, and then come back down. Patient cannot reach the plinth. Okay, it would just only bounce from here. Okay, so that's Ober's test. All right, go ahead and lay down in. Good. All right, so we're slowly finishing up to the PCL. The lower half is going to be the foot. So the foot has a lot of things going on, but we'll try to break it down as fast as we can and as simple as possible too as well. Okay. You don't mind if I actually borrow your foot? Yeah. So we could actually see and compare because you actually have to take off your sneakers. Pause for a while, brother.